For a film director, an audience is a group of people who go to the cinema or the internet to gain an experience. Will the experience be good or bad depends upon your storytelling style, abilities, and the audience's taste. An experience is something which entices the audiences to come back for more or stay away for good. An experience is basically made up of three main ingredients: the concept, the character, and the story. So what is a concept? A concept is the equivalent of a seed which you need to plant in order to get the fruit. So a concept is the very beginning of the experience, and the other 2 points of the experience will fall down if the seed is not planted right. Let's talk about the concept of one of the greatest movies ever made, The Matrix. What was the concept? Neo wanted to find out what is the Matrix. This question was the concept of the film, and this concept gave us everything that came afterwards, which brings us to point number 2. The character. The main character of the film was Neo. Was he an interesting main character? Definitely. Why? Because of 2 main points. First, he was an intelligent software engineer. When you present somebody intelligent to the audiences, they automatically aspire to be somewhat like that character, because deep down inside, we all aspire to be intelligent. Christopher Nolan took over Hollywood not because he has some magic wand, but because he is the most intelligent film director and a storyteller of our modern times. Secondly, Neo was driven by an interesting goal. He wanted to find out what is the Matrix, and we as an audience member knew that this would lead to something big, amazing, and mind-twisting. So instead of being driven by the desire to find love or some other random pathetic goal, Neo knew that once he finds the answer to this question, he will find the purpose of his life. And this purpose would lead to something mind-bending. As an audience member, when we realize this psychological state of the character, we automatically fall in love with that character. The third and the last point of making up the experience is the fruit itself. When the tree is grown, you receive the fruit, which is the equivalent of the story. So what was the story of the Matrix? Neo takes the red pill, finds out what the Matrix is, falls into disbelief, accepts the reality, becomes part of the real world, fights an agent, dies, gets reborn, fights the agent again, and finally wins. Now he finally realized the purpose of his life: to fight against the system that has blinded the whole world into believing something that is just not real. So once you take the bite out of this fruit, you receive the experience. Just like when the movie cuts to black and the end credits roll, the audiences receive the experience. Whether you will like the fruit depends upon your taste buds. Just like loving a movie depends upon the audience's mindsets and how successfully you're able to change those mindsets, much similar to Christopher Nolan. He completely reinvented the superhero genre. Once he was done with Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, everybody wanted to reboot their superhero franchise and come up with a hit similar to Nolan's hits. Now you, as an independent filmmaker, if you think deeply about these 3 main ingredients, you will realize that most of the ideas in your arsenal, they simply suck. Because just like most of the cliched independent film directors out there, you quickly come up with a character, quickly come up with a story, and then quickly jump over to the over-glorified technical aspect of the movie, especially the cinematography. Just like Stanley Kubrick, the one thing that most filmmakers care about the most is the cinematography. No matter how much you deny this statement, it is the absolute truth about our current independent film directors. So hopefully this vlog will give all the film directors and storytellers out there with a fresh perception about concepts, characters, stories, movies, and ultimately the experience. On a closing note, I would love to have you guys say something about what you think about what the audience wants in the comment section below. And subscribe to my channel where I release vlogs about film direction every Monday and discuss the real aspect that puts guys like Steven Spielberg and Chris Nolan on top of Hollywood. That aspect is the art of storytelling. So, in the hopes of connecting with aspiring film directors all over the world, this is Mr. Zeecon in the making of a great story.